So, hello students. Today's topic is multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies. Environmental study do not consist only the study of environment, but it consists of several multidisciplinary subjects. Why? Because environmental studies deals with several branches or almost all the branches of studies. If we try to do observation, each and every components or each and every um, product which we are utilizing somehow directly or indirectly related with environment. Even though, like, if we take even though we are several produce products are not coming directly from environment or nature, but all the things which are present on this earth, in this atmosphere, have directly or indirectly relation with nature or environment. For example, if you take example of say like computers, it is not naturally formed. This device is being manufactured in some industries, some companies, but it is related to environment. How it is related to environment? By uses of these electronic devices, either it is a laptop or a computer device or a mobile or some other electronic gadgets, there is release of some harmful gases. It consumes energy in the form of electricity. That electricity mostly comes from burning of fossil fuel. So it is contributing negatively towards environment. As I said that each and every component which is present in our life on this earth is somehow directly or indirectly in relation with environmental studies. So the major outcome of this topic or student learning will be, they will you will be well acquainted with the multidisciplinary nature of environment, why it is termed as multidisciplinary nature, how it is related with all different um, present form or field of studies on this earth. So let us discuss in depth. So talking about definition, environmental studies deals with each and every issue that affects an organism. Environmental studies deal with each and every issue that affects an organism. There isn't any issue, there isn't any component which environmental studies doesn't deal with. Maybe it is directly related or indirectly related. That is why it is said that environmental studies deals with every issue that affects an organism. So next is, it is essentially a multidisciplinary approach that brings about an appreciation of our natural world and human impacts on its integrity. So it is an essential multidisciplinary approach which brings appreciation to our natural world and human impacts on its integrity. Also, it is an applied science as it seeks practical answers to making human civilization sustainable on Earth's finite resources. Its components include biology, geology, chemistry, physics, engineering, sociology, health, anthropology, economics, statistics, computers, and philosophy. So, it is very important field of studies because this gives practical answers to for sustainable human civilizations. Sustainable word is nowadays very commonly used in several aspects. We know that human civilization is at the edge of depletion through various natural hazards, natural calamities, pollution, several man-made hazards or man-made disaster. It is at the edge. Just now, few weeks earlier, we have experienced one of the man-made. It can be termed as man-made hazard, depending on the literature or the news available. We all are well known about novel coronavirus. So that was being declared by WHO as an pandemic because lakhs and lakhs of people have died globally. Still, there is no proper data of many people who have died. So, why we take use this term sustainable and why it is used here? Because day by day, when pollution is increasing, population is increasing, the frequency of natural calamities like severe drought, flood, earthquake, landslides, these are increasing. At the same time, several man-made calamities like war, accident, this all are also increasing. So we must not neglect to accept that human civilization is on the edge. It is very, it is just a distant of a point. If there is a world war, if there is uses of nuclear weapon, most of the part of human civilization is going to end. Several more things are there, several natural calamities. There is like prediction in coming years that occurrence of natural calamities is going to be increased. Therefore, we talk about sustainability or human civilization, sustainability of human civilization. So, this environmental studies or environmental science gives practical answers to make a sustainable life on this earth, depending on this on the finite resources available on this earth. In the previous classes, we have discussed about resources, natural as well as artificial resources. So, in that topic, we have discussed that what are different forms of natural resources and what are the different forms of artificial resources. Further classification of resources was there, like renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable are those resources which can be recycled, regenerated naturally. We call it renewable resources. Example can be solar energy, wind energy. Whereas on the other hand, There is non-renewable resources which cannot be regenerated naturally. Examples are fossil fuel, which is once it is removed or extracted, it is not going to be regenerated again by natural formation. So that is why environmental science is the field of study which seeks practical answers for sustainable human civilization by sustainably using the available resources of this earth. At the end, its components include almost all the part of studies, either biology, geology, chemistry, physics, engineering, sociology, health, anthropology, economics, statistics, computers, and philosophy. So all these different field of studies are included in environmental studies. How? Because several biological components are included in environmental studies, living, non-living, several species of animals, several varieties of plants, species of plants. These are included in environmental studies. Talking about geology, several geological features are considered under environmental studies also. Talking about chemistry, we talk about quality of water, quality of soil, different chemical composition in different products naturally occurring on natural products. Talking about physics, we talk about different law of science in environmental studies. If we talk about engineering, different engineering such as agriculture engineering is somehow directly related with cultivation of crops. Several machineries which has to be operated on soil surface, several machineries which has to be operated for supply of water or transportation of water in irrigation process. Then sociology, because the human beings are called as social animals and they are a component of environment. Health is directly related to environmental studies. Anthropology and economics are also related. Statistics is also related to environmental studies. Computers and philosophy are the fields which are also related to environmental studies through different means. So, here we can say that none of the field is apart from environment or environmental studies. Almost all the available field of studies available currently on this globe are directly or indirectly related to environmental studies. Thus, it is considered that environmental studies deals with every issues that affects an organism. So moving next. So now, if we want to talk about scope of environmental studies, what do you think that how much there is scope of environmental studies? I think there is a huge scope of environment studies. As we have discussed on the previous slides, that environmental studies deals with every issues, then it gives practical answers to sustainable human civilization. Also, it is also the components of environmental studies include all the forms of different forms of biology, geology, chemistry, physics, engineering, sociology, health, anthropology, economics, statistics, computers, and philosophy. So we see that when this term or this field of study is directly or indirectly interrelated with all the field of studies or all the field of specializations, definitely there is going to be a huge scope. So, first line says most of us live in landscapes that have been heavily modified by human beings in villages, towns, or cities. This statement is appropriate, 100% correct. If we start to recall our childhood time, we will realize, I think all of us have observed similar situation, especially those who are from rural areas. I'm 100% confident that they they might have observed similar situation. Like from our childhood, we have observed that surrounding our home, there were more number of natural components like tree, forest area, water resource, pond, river. If we take, if we consider a single component, say like forest or vegetation, huge number of vegetation was found in our surrounding. Gradually, the number of vegetation or quantity of vegetation decrease. If we see the satellite image of any place for last 50 years and up to now, we will find that the number of vegetation or amount of vegetation on the land surface is decreasing day by day gradually. Similar things we observe in our life starting from our childhood. We see, especially for the case of rural areas, we see that earlier there used to be more number of trees, more number of vegetation in our surroundings, but now the number of vegetation or trees are decreasing day by day. So we must be agree to the statement that our surrounding has been modified, heavily modified by human beings. We know that due to rapid growth in of due to rapid growth of urbanization, due to rapid growth of industrialization, there is a huge demand of urban structure. Schools are required, more number of hospitals are required, more number of railway stations, railway track, roads are required. So these all structures will be built on the earth surface. So earlier, earth surface was most of the part was covered with forest area, vegetation. So slowly, due to rapid development, deforestation activity has been occurred on a large scale. Therefore, lot of vegetation has been removed and construction of several buildings or concrete structures has been done on that area. So we are continuously modifying our surrounding, and also due to that reason we also observe nowadays There is change in shift of rainfall. There is shifting in the pattern of rainfall, intensity of rainfall. Summer seasons are maybe increasing in some place, winter seasons are decreasing, whereas in some place winters are increasing and summer season is decreasing. Temperatures temperature is going on increasing day by day, and once there is increase in temperature, several interrelated components of environment is going to change. So the people who live in cities get their food supply from surrounding villages, and these in turn are dependent on natural landscapes such as forests, grassland, rivers, seashore for resources such as water for agriculture, fuel, wood, fodder, and fish. Thus, our daily lives are linked with our surroundings and inevitably affect them. We have discussed several similar things in the previous class, in the previous lecture, that each and every component we are utilizing today is directly or indirectly related with nature, as well as directly or indirectly affects the nature. I have given example of computer, mobile devices. These are not a produce of natural, these are not the natural produce, but still they have impact on nature. So the people who are staying in city, they get their food supply from surrounding villages, because in rural urban areas there are no space for cultivation of crops, for fruits, for milk, and several other food items. So they are dependent on natural landscapes such as forest area, grassland area, rivers, seashore, etc. So we can say that our daily life, even the communities which are staying in urban areas, their daily life is also linked with the surrounding and the environment, and somehow they affect them, or their activity directly or indirectly has an impact on nature. Most traditions refer to our environment as Mother Nature, and most traditional societies have learned that respecting nature is vital for their livelihoods. This has led to many cultural practices that help traditional societies protect and preserve their natural resources. So most of the traditions, they refer environment as Mother Nature. In case of our country, we have respect for our nature, not from now, but from centuries ago. Several traditions consider several natural resources like water resource or a river, forest resource or a tree, animals, several geographical features like mountain. They consider it related to spirituality. They consider it holy. What is the benefit of such kind of tradition referred to our environment, like calling Mother Nature? Because it creates relation, which in turn gives protective protection to the natural resources. In India, as I said, several environmental components are there, which we which we are connected. Several examples can be taken, like River Ganga is called Holy River. So people pray to it, people make effort to preserve that resource. So it is in aspect of environment, when traditionally human beings are attached with such kind of natural resources, it creates awareness, it creates cultural practice for preserving and protecting the natural resources. The industrial development and intensive agriculture provides the goods for our increasingly consumer oriented society, uses up large amount of natural resources such as water, minerals, petroleum products, food, etc. So there is a huge development, industrial development, as well as growing population or increasing food demand has pressurized for intensive agriculture that provides the goods for our increasingly consumer oriented society, uses up uses up large amounts of natural resources such as water, mineral, petroleum products, food, etc. Renewable resources such as timber and water are those which can be used but can be regenerated by natural process. So the renewable resource which can be regenerated by natural process, by regrowth or rainfall, but these two will be depleted if we continue to use them faster than nature can replace them. So example can be taken from the groundwater sources. We know that into the ground or groundwater source comes through the process of infiltration of water through precipitation or rainfall on the ground surface in the rainy season. It stays in the ground by the means of pump. Human beings extract water in plain areas, they extract water from the underground sources. If the rate of discharge of water is more than the rate of recharge of water, it will play a negative impact. All the resources which are renewable, we must use those resources in a sustainable manner. Or first, we should identify the rate of recharge, the rate of recycling, the rate of regrowth, and then we should accordingly we should start utilization of those resources. Therefore, renewable resources such as timber and water are those which can be used, but again they can be regenerated by natural process such as rainfall or regrowth. But these two resources will be depleted if we continue to use them faster than nature can replace them. Means the rate of discharge is more than the rate of recharge. In that case, the resource is going to be depleted. Unsustainable utilization can result from overuse of resources because of population increase, and because many of us are using more resources than we really need. So unsustainable utilization can result from overuse of resources because of population increase and because many of us are using more resources than we really needed. We can take example from our daily life. If we start doing observation that how many liters of water we are consuming daily, we will come to know the wastage of water which we are doing. For example, if we have to wash our face with a glass of water where there is no tap water or modern water supply system is not there, a single glass of water is sufficient to clean our face. Whereas when there is we have to wash our face from the running tap water, in that case, I think that each one of us utilize more than 3 to 4 liters of water just for washing our face or just for washing our hand. So, this example can be observed in our daily life. Almost all of us are behaving in the same manner. Even I also behave in same manner. Most of the time, we don't realize the importance of resources. Therefore, we waste that resources or we utilize more than the needed amount. So, unsustainable utilization can result from overuse of resources because of population increase and because many of us are using more resources than we really need it. So, importance, as discussed in the first slide, environment is not a single subject. It is an integration of several subjects that include science as well as social science. So it consists of almost all the branches of studies. Increasing amounts of waste cannot be managed by natural process. These accumulates in our environment, leading to a variety of diseases and other adverse environmental impacts, now seriously affecting all our lives. So we see that in every city there are several dump yards which is mostly filled with the waste, domestic waste. In big cities, metro cities, it is very problematic to manage all the waste. Say like solid waste management is a very big issue. Plastic waste is also a very big issue. We all are using plastic, but we know that it is very harmful for the nature. In spite of knowing that, continuously we are using plastic material or plastic for carrying several things. So this line says that increasing amount of waste cannot be managed by natural process. For managing waste through natural process, it requires sufficient time as well as the quantity should be less. When the quantity is more due to several reasons like rapid urbanization, rapid population growth, migration to urban areas, the amount of waste is increasing and they are accumulating in our environment, which leads to several disease and other adverse environmental impacts. So nowadays, many times we see that in certain place due to consuming, say like nowadays several place groundwater is not appropriate for directly consuming. Reason is the increase of pollution or waste. They are accumulating in the environment. Even in several rural areas, groundwater is not suitable to consume directly because of agricultural pollution or chemical pollution which is occurring through improper agricultural activity that has lead to pollute the groundwater source through process of leaching, infiltration, deep infiltration and percolation. It has been contributed in the groundwater source and now the groundwater source is not sufficient to be consumed directly. Similarly, most of the cities groundwater is beyond the limit standard limit of to be consumed. Moreover, in some places the water is not sufficient for even for domestic use, washing of clothes, bathing or recreational activities. So it is very important to know that what all things we are consuming, what all things we are utilizing, and how it is going to impact our nature, whether it is going to impact in a positive way or is it going to impact in a negative way. So we have to be wise while using several components. Air pollution leads to respiratory disease. This example can be seen from the city of Delhi. There are more number of people who are suffering from respiratory disease, asthmatic. Several patients are there, or more number of patients are there. The reason is they are consuming a polluted air. In several places, people are suffering from gastrointestinal disease where water pollution is there. In case of Yamuna River, within the area of Delhi and Haryana, it is the water of river Yamuna is not suitable for drinking purpose, not suitable for bathing purpose, not suitable for recreational purpose. Also, it is not suitable for irrigational purpose. There are several reasons like discharge of industrial waste, say like battery industry, they are directly discharging lead and other harmful materials in the water source. So these pollutions or pollutants are leading towards several diseases, say like causing cancer, etc. Next is improving this situation will only happen if each and every one of us begin to take actions in our daily life that will help preserve our environmental resource. As I have given example that we are utilizing plastic in our daily life, which is very harmful. We are using the resources like water resource unwisely. If there is requirement of a single liters, we are wasting 3 to 4 additional liters of water. So that is indirectly impacting our nature. So it is responsibility of not only a single citizen, but it is responsibility of all the citizens of this universe to start taking action in our daily life. So what will happen? That will help to preserve our environmental resources. Government alone cannot manage and safeguard the environment. So we should not expect that this is the responsibility of only sole responsibility of government. So there is an urgent need to protect all living species, protect every component of environment in our surrounding, utilize the resources in a very high wise manner. It is time to act upon less utilization, or say like minimum utilization of the renewable resources, or utilizing in an appropriate manner or a sustainable manner. Say like we should analyze first the rate of recharge, the rate of reformation, the rate of regeneration, then we should go for utilization. Similarly, avoiding all those components which are harmful for nature. Similarly, realizing and minimizing all the activities which are harmful for the nature. So next is quiz is there. You have to attempt the quiz. You read the PPTs, read the slides of the PPT, and you have to answer it. Like first question says, the industrial development and intensive agriculture that provides the goods for our increasingly consumer oriented society uses up large amounts of natural resources such as water, mineral, petroleum products, food, etc. Is this statement correct or wrong? Renewable resources such as timber and water are those which can be used but can be regenerated by natural process such as regrowth or rainfall. But these two will be depleted if we continue to use them at faster rate than nature can replace them. Similarly, all the questions are there. Like most of us live in landscape that has been heavily dashed by human beings such as villages or towns or cities. You have to choose the correct option among the given four options. You have to choose the correct one. So for filling up all these answers, you have to read the PPTs. So PPTs are already uploaded. You have to read it, and you can fill up all these questions, MCQs. Basically, these MCQs are given to recall all the discussions which has been done in this topic. So kindly attempt all the quiz. It is uploaded on LMS. So thank you all.